Hello. Oh, my mother and my father are on the call with a very snowy background. Hello everyone. But I haven't called them in a few days, and my mom wrote, "Hey, call us." So now she's come to find me in my work. Good. Yeah, I've been very busy and not online. Welcome, Richard. Hello. Now your favorite topic. We're doing it. Thanks for the request on Gone. And Krista, hello. And Michael. And remind me of the name of your partner. I always forget.
Amanda.
Amanda. Michael and Amanda. Great to have you. And Stephanie and Wan Ching, and Pablo. And Liba and Klaus and Anna and Leslie and Timothy and Elizabeth, Shri, Sanjana, Anna, Suganya. Wow, amazing name, Suganya. Madhuri, Irina. You can guess who's my mom. Uh, let's maybe make a wave if you are here from this current 10-day course with the course which is now completing. Great. So welcome to those, and then welcome to make a wave if you are a veteran, a pilgrim on the path. Great, amazing. Okay, let's not daddle too much. I've been very talkative recently, um, but yeah, the topic for today. So I'm going to explain a little bit about it and give an introduction about it, and then we're going to meditate. We will just do sitting meditation since it's a topic that benefits from a deeper state of concentration. So we're going to work just with sitting, maybe about 45 minutes, 50 minutes sit. And then at the full hour, the next full hour again, as usual, there's going to be those who can leave, who feel that they've had enough, they need to go, can leave. And those who want to stay and talk a bit are welcome to stay for 20 minutes or so to share about it, to ask anything, whatever you feel. Um, yeah. So we are practicing Vipassana meditation. Um, and Vipassana meditation, we are working a lot with seeing phenomena clearly, seeing phenomena in our body clearly, sensory phenomena, in our other senses also, the hearing sense, the seeing sense, in the mind, so the cognitive events, imagination, memories, intentions, thoughts, attention itself and how it moves. So seeing all these, any phenomena, anything you can experience at all is what we are training to see clearly in Vipassana meditation. Vipassana means insight, clear seeing. And there's a wonderful technique, which I first heard about through the meditation teacher Shinzen Yang, to give full credit. He really recommends to meditate on the passing away of phenomena. So what it means is phenomena come into our conscious experience. For example, now you're hearing sounds, I'm hearing some birds. So these come into my experience. I'm not aware of them, and then suddenly I'm aware bird chirping, and I hear the sound of the bird chirping. And most of the time we are very biased. Our attention, the way our attention moves, is very biased towards noticing mostly the middle of a phenomena. So there's a sound which arises, then my attention goes there as it's already happening and kind of examines it, processes it, thinks about it. Uh, and then something else already catches the attention. Like maybe then the thought about it catches the attention, then maybe another thought catches attention, maybe another sound. So we are biased towards noticing the middle of phenomena or even the beginning of phenomena. So phenomena, sounds, sensations, thoughts arise, and I notice that they've come because it catches the attention. It catches the attention when something happens. And in this kind of technique, or not technique, but maybe more like inquiry, we notice, we try to stay with the phenomena and notice that moment of vanishing, that moment something vanishes from our conscious experience, and the kind of feeling of gap that it creates. Your mind went somewhere to a sound, your mind stays there in that location, maybe in space with that sound, and the sound disappears. So this can be like a big long sound, like maybe there's a sound of a car which goes by, takes 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and at some point the sound of the car is not there anymore. So there's a gone. There's a ceasing of that as an experience in our consciousness. Because with Vipassana, we're always working on the experiential level. Or a thought arises, and at some point, maybe you notice it, and it disappears. And there's kind of non-existence, a gap that creates, where your mind is there for a moment, but is not perceiving the thing anymore. It's just there without content, if you will. Um, so we're going to practice to notice this gone. I find it most easy with sounds, but we can also do it with thoughts. We can also do it with sensations. Mm, This gone can be experienced at a more macro level, like with the car example. The car takes 30 seconds, and then you can notice the feeling of gone at the end of those 30 seconds. But can also be more on a micro level. Mm, You hear the sound of a car, and in every moment, the sound of the car in your experience arises and passes away very quickly, like little, like pixels of sound, if you will. The components, the sensory components, the smallest slice of time that you can perceive. And there the sound arises and passes away very quickly, which creates the continuous feeling of sound of the car. So we can look at it at a more micro scale as well if we have the concentration to do it. Both are valid. Yes, this is the first idea. Why? Because our mind and our modern mind is very fixated on things, on definitions, on this being like that, which is not like this being like that, which is not like this being like this, which is not like that. And the mind that is creating separations and categorizing for efficiency also, and making things into black and white. Today I'm like this, or I'm shit because this happened, or um, so this kind of separation mind, which is defining. But noticing the goneness helps to loosen a little bit that rigidity and that necessity to always define what is it, so that I can deal with it, and maybe I can deal with it in a way which is more undefined, whatever it is, to let it be more processed than a thing. Um, and in later Buddhism, there's this koan, like you from Zen, in the Zen Buddhist tradition, they're practicing a lot with koans, which are basically, yeah, little phrases which you meditate on, meditate with, contemplate on, use it as an inquiry to pay more attention to your experience in very weird ways, sometimes in very unrational ways, in ways that the intellectual mind cannot comprehend. And one of the most famous koans and one of the simplest koans is the koan Mu. And here I will share a slide, and Mu is in Japanese, but I think it also has a different different phonetic sound in Chinese. Um, Mom, what's the phonetic sound in Chinese? This one. Don't know it. I think it's an old Chinese character. I think maybe that's why. Now she's going to check ChatGPT. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. So this is mu, and mu is basically it translates to, and I'm not an expert in this. This is what my friend is telling me, who's an expert. It translates to the prefix non. So as in non-existence or uh, doing and non-doing or um, what's more examples? Yeah, any prefix non-comprehension, comprehension and non-comprehension. So whatever you put, wherever you put this non in front, it captures the opposite, the non-existence of, the absence of, if you will. Um, so this most simple koan um, is just mu, just non. And we are also, when we're meditating on gone, we're also working with this non-existence of. There's the existence of a phenomenon, and then there's also non-existence, that a thing which can't be made into a thing, because non-existence, we cannot make it into a thing. The mind tries to, but it cannot. It's just the absence. It's a gap. It's a non-experience. And we are going to work a little bit with this as well today. Yeah. Sounds good. Cool. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into practice. Um yeah, I'm a little bit improvising with this. I've never done a meditation on this before. But let's see how it goes. So yeah, do what you need to feel that you can sit still for 45 minutes or so. Maybe it's a final stretch, a final look around to make sure there's no tigers or anything else that might pounce on you in the jungle of your living room. Um, Locate your body. Maybe just have a look at your body and your posture that you're sitting in with your eyes. Like, okay, here's my feet, here's my legs, here's my lower body, here's my hands, which I can see, my arms, my nose, which I can see there in my visual field, which the brain filters out. Okay. And now, even with eyes open, just to feel the body, feel the posture, feel if anything needs to be adjusted. And when you feel like, okay, we're good to go, you can gently close the eyes. And also just notice that transition between seeing and non-seeing. If you want, you can open the eyes again and notice what is seeing as a whole thing. And that moment you close them, how seeing just vanishes from your experience. And let's try that a few times. Opening and seeing, and closing and vanishing. And notice that you can still picture, you can still imagine, you can remember vaguely your environment, what's in front of you. You have this mental image of what you were seeing just a moment ago. Just picture that, notice that. Recognize that as something which is a mental image, which is a kind of memory. It's not the same actual as the actual experience of seeing. It's the mental imprint of seeing. And again, open them. Notice that arising of seeing and closing, the passing away of seeing. And the gap that leaves. And of course, there's not a full disappearing of seeing as an experience. There's still this shimmering darkness behind the closed eyes, which we can still see. And let's come to the body, the feeling of your whole body in this posture. Feel the container of your body, the membrane of your body, the skin, the proprioception, which tells you where is my body relative to itself. Notice any prominent sensations in the body, any sensations which seem more loud compared to others, something which you can say that you are clearly feeling. Maybe it's a pain somewhere, maybe a feeling of pressure somewhere, maybe it's a specific body part that you can feel very clearly now. You don't have to name it, just notice it, feel it. And let's feel the breath for a moment. Tune into the breath that is already there. Wherever it is naturally in the body. Belly, chest, nostrils, more inside, more on the surface. Feel any difference in the inhale and the exhale. Maybe temperature, maybe where the feeling is stronger. Maybe the quality of the inhale is different than the quality of the exhale. The texture, the speed, temperature, length, location. And let's receive also the experience of what we can hear. This orchestra of sound from our environment, which firstly just tells us where we are in space, in time, different sounds in the morning, in the day, in the night, different sounds to the front, to the back, to the left, to the right, helping you locate yourself in space and time. And let's notice more and more the actual felt experience of those sounds. Not what made the sounds, not to focus on the source of the sound, a bird, a car, construction, but to more notice the actual experience of the sound. The tone, the speed, the rhythm, the texture, the some sounds are more mm, heavy, some more light, some feel more up, some more down, some bigger, some quieter. And let's pick a sound and just to attend to that, to receive it until that sound ends. So it's good to pick something that you know will end in the next maybe minute or so, even if it's just one occurrence of that sound, one particular car, one particular bird. And notice what that sound is like when it exists and then when it ceases to exist. As an experience. And whenever you notice this ending of a sound, whatever sound, you can choose different sounds. You can gently label gone if it helps you. If it gets in the way, drop the label. If it helps you to hone in on that ending of the sound, label gone, just gently in your mind. For example, my voice begins and then at some point ends. And the whole sentence has a beginning and then an end. But also, individual words. And if you are quite concentrated, even moments, individual moments within the words, but stay working where you can see it. Work where you can see the ending. So in the sounds, you can also notice the whole sentences of a particular sound and the ending of the sentence, or the ending of words, or even the ending of individual sound moments. If a thought comes, wait and see if you can notice the end of that thought. And a little tip to go more and more towards the momentary phenomena and noticing the goneness of momentary phenomena. Notice that the uniqueness of that moment of how the sound is manifesting, of the felt experience of the sound passes away, and some other manifestation of that sound takes its place, maybe with a slightly different tone or pitch or volume or rhythm. Sounds are like waves much more than they are like solid things. And what's that like to notice that gone moment? What is there in that gap? Is there anything there? Is it maybe a feeling? What does the mind do when it has no thing to grasp? In that gap, maybe it's just like a milli moment until your attention gets taken by something else. Gone. And slowly, slowly, as we get settled in, there's a little more slowness, a little more space in your experience. A space within which you can rest. It doesn't mean that there's no experience. Things continue, sounds continue, sensations continue, thoughts continue. But fixating less on phenomena and more on the context, the background, the space within which they appear, disappear. It's not something you can focus on actually. It's more intuitive, peripheral sense of this betweenness, of this non, of mu. Some traditions also call this ground of being, emptiness, awareness. Keep noticing the gone. The gone takes you to emptiness. The gone helps the mind release its fixation on things. And now you can also extend to bodily sensations. It's nice to notice this with kind of these more pulsing or vibratory body sensations, which kind of stay as a whole. Maybe the sentence continues, but the words within that sentence, the individual phenomena of the throbbing, of the pressure, of the tingling, the individual words come and go. Notice that going. If only vaguely, if only peripherally. the body different now than in the beginning of the session when we checked it? Did you notice that disappearing of certain sensations? Probably not. I did not. Let's watch goneness in the body. We can also notice goneness in thoughts. For example, by noticing the images that our mind produces, the memories or images of things that we know what they look like, that the mind uses to understand, experience the mental images, a little bit like the mental image of the surroundings that we saw earlier. The mind is constantly using these mental image fragments to process past, future, present. Just by waiting in that space where these images arise, for most people, kind of in the forehead / in front of the eyes area. They flicker, they are not stable, they have a goneness in them too. The thoughts, they also have a sound component to them. Maybe your own voice, maybe replaying other people's voices. Notice the gone in that auditory thought. Wait for that ending. Any conception that appears of something else, of yourself in the world, any memory, any sensation, feeling associated with that image, that memory, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. See if you can notice the gone, the endings. You don't need to know what it is, just keep noticing the gone. Any phenomena. With the body completely still, you can also notice the goneness of impulse to move, the sensation of discomfort. Everywhere there is this gone. This mu, the existence, and then the immediately following non-existence, the gap. And the poem from The Gateless Gate, a Zen uh, book. Mu is not nothingness. Mu is not the opposite of being. It is the gate through which all Buddhas have passed. And go even deeper. Sit back even more. Go to the place where all of your experience is arising and passing. The only place. The same place, the same space where all sound, all sensations, any experience you can receive, perceive, appears. Maybe it means you become as big as the world. Maybe it means you become very small and there's just the world. Where there is no more division between what's here and what's there, what's now and what was then. Everything appears in the same place. And then notice that everything also disappears in that same place. So quick to be replaced by another phenomena. Actually, our attention cannot notice this mu. Attention is always biased towards things. Attention likes to grasp and hold to things. We have to do it with a more peripheral, intuitive awareness. And we cannot do it, we receive. It happens without us. And here's the gradual fading of the image of myself, the image of the world, and there's just listening, just listening. No more defining. Listening to both the things and also the space between things. The undefinedness. The definedness and the undefinedness. The clarity and the vagueness. And in the last minutes, I invite you to open your hands and bring your hands close together, the palms of your hands close together in front of you without them touching. So there's a gap between your two palms. And feel the left hand and the left palm and the left back of the hand, the left fingers. Feel the right hand, the right palm, the contents inside, and the back of the hand, fingers. And notice that boundary of the hands, the palms. And what's it like to feel the space between the hands? And we want to release imagining that space, seeing it. Mostly we picturing it. Can we feel it? Or can we not feel it? The space between the hands. My palms are a few centimeters apart. 2 or 3 centimeters maybe. Can be more, can be less. What is that like to feel the handness, left handness, right handness, clear sensations, clear feeling, clear shape, structure, texture, quality, pressure, vibration, temperature, and this betweenness, this absence of. And can I release making it into a thing? Can I allow it to be the space between? Without even calling it space. The absence of perception. And then to notice what it's like to close that gap until they touch. And welcome to bring this to the heart until it touches the heart space. And feel inside, feel the hands, palms, and feel inside the heart space. And as if the heart space was a hand, what is it like to relax this hand in the heart? To open the palm of this heart hand. And to bring the world into this heart hand. To hold the world in this heart hand. To welcome yourself into this heart hand. To welcome loved ones into this heart hand. To welcome here the Sangha, the community, into this heart hand. Inside your chest. And anyone or anything else. Anything that seems far away from this heart hand. Bring it in, bring it close. And hold all of that with a tenderness, with a gentleness, with a forgiveness. And now, the more traditional way, we can bow, but don't bow yet. Bow to something. With your bow, you can call something into your conscious experience that you are bowing to. So it can be anything. It can be yourself. It can be a feeling, someone else. It can be it can be the practice. It can be Buddha, if you like. It can be another god. It can just be space. It can be emptiness. It can be nature. It can be the economy. It can be anything that you want to bow to. And bowing is a practice of calling something and then bowing to it. When you feel you have something, you're welcome to gently bow and releasing. And taking a moment to move, stretch, get comfortable again. Blink the eyes. Take a big breath. Great. I love to rub the face also after meditating. So. Oh wow, there's a face there. Ah. So yeah, welcome to stay if you like. Also welcome to leave if you like. And thank you for joining this meditation. There will be some time to discuss or share or ask. Um, I love this applying this concept also directly to the to community space, to interactive space. To think of this interactive space where we can exchange and talk and listen, not as just you and sorry, you and me or the individuals, no, like the two hands, but to also feel this space, this virtual space, but it is also a real space, as this space between. So this emptiness between these two hands that we were perceiving, that the potential of this space is also something that happens in the group. This so whatever happens here, whatever we talk about is something that is between. It is not you, it is not me, it is not individuals. It is something that happens in that body in between us. So welcome to fill this body with your voices. So I welcome any sharing about the meditation, questions, comments. I love to hear how it went for you. I'm sure others as well. Timothy, yes.
Hi. Um, I would just like to thank you for this course. I'm so grateful. It has changed the way I practice forever. Uh, I practiced Zen for so long and it felt welcome, but Vipassana feels like home. And I've had a hard time putting into words what it is that's different. Um, there's no competition, but I've learned so much in such a short time from you, but it also helped me put those feelings into words. Um, I think the difference is with Zen, there's a lot of ritual. This is so much more intuitive. It's easier to integrate, into other parts of your life. And also with Zen, emptiness, obviously a big deal, but I'm okay with emptiness. I'm okay staring into the void. Uh, I'm fine with the no self. I was probably born for the bodhisattva path, um, but there was something missing. And I think you helped me decide what that is, and it's clarity. So thank you. I can't thank you enough. I could go on and on about what I've learned, but I don't think we probably have that much time. So many tips, so many things that changed my practice, my daily practice, so many things that are going to help my clients. Um, Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Timothy, for your practice. Yeah, great. I can't say exactly that what I do is pure Vipassana. It's not so traditional, but I mean, I also get a lot of inspiration from Zen. There's so much there also for me to be learned. It's amazing. The ritual also, this attention to form, um, is very important, I feel, increasingly. Um, yeah, yeah. Lots to learn. Thank you. Who else? What else is floating out there? Was there some success with the goneness, or are you like just confused and like what is this? I don't understand. Uh yes, Richard. Mm.
Yes, I think for me, the Gone was really interesting. I had mentioned that to you before. It's sort of like the yin and yang. There's an up and down, there's a give and take, there's a presence and an absence, or a coming and a going. And when I think about inhaling, uh, taking a breath in, then there's a gap because it stops. And then you breathe out. I mean, even if you don't notice it, there's a space. Something stops, and you then exhale, and then there's something that stops. And this gone sort of, I guess, helped me to even further think about the impermanence of things. Because you're right that we focus on, oh, something happens, but that something that happens also goes away, stops happening with everything. um, so I really appreciated that. I think it gives me a even greater sensory clarity, um, that I think is real beneficial. I think the other thing is the hands coming together at the end was really interesting for me, because even though there's a space between my hands, I started to feel some kind of energy. It wasn't exactly absent. It's just that it was something, but it wasn't sensation like I'm used to in my hands. But I just felt there was an energy in there, and that seemed to be sort of an insight or a recognition or a realization that I had not had before.
Mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, the breath one is good. I forgot about that. Noting gone in the inhale and the exhale. It's good. Um, yeah, I think this is precisely also the power of the goneness in the daily life, because we focus so much on form and the thing that we can see and know is there, my hands, which are here and is here. But when we start to notice that space between, then the mind becomes much more subtle, much more attuned, much more listening to something that is not so obvious, that is not this or that, that's not one hand or the other hand. Something that is usually dismissible if I'm too much focused on things, on and yeah, the kind of Japanese, Korean culture have this amazing also language and whole research about this space between. Like now there was actually a Korean teacher here in my center, and she was always sharing these beautiful anecdotes from her language. Um, for example, like when they say "I love you," they don't say they don't say I or you within that I love. We say I love you. There's me, there's you. We love each other. I love you. But they say something more like love in between. So they actually leave out the I and the you,
Mhm.
and they just recognize that this is between the hands. This is something that between the hands. Even you take one hand away, it's not there anymore. But this is a codependent on and is in the space between, not the things themselves. Yeah, I find that amazing. Deba.
Thank you, Reimer. Thank you very much for this beautiful experience. And this idea of goodness was not present in my reality, honestly. um, it felt like, okay, I can grasp quite quickly when you say the voice of a car is fading and my voice is fading. But then it come to the daily life and then come to the experiences. And when good or bad things, I don't know, somehow a question comes to me like, can this pain be gone? Can we, like the gunness of the things we hold on, which makes us or experience. Says, I became a bit like shaky, honestly. Like for daily life, I understood. And then it was a bit like going so close to my, I would not say like, who am I with values or with experiences or family or everything, but rather like a feeling of shakiness came just, wow, what if everything can be gone? Like, you know what I mean? Somehow, if this gun must be implemented to a pain or to a thinking of something, immediately you remember gunness is real and just I don't know, it shaked me somehow. Thank you so much, in a good and in a shaky way somehow. And I'm ready to cultivate this experience from you. And thank you for sharing all this experience all together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deba. Thank you.
And maybe you can say some words for this of shakiness, goneness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was in the gap between what you said and what I'm going to say. There's a gap. I think that's a very nice gap. Yeah, it's like almost like some shakiness or some fear from being without knowing, being without defining it as this or that. Like some can be like a feeling of anxiety around that because we are so used to defining it as this or that, and we get a lot of safety from it being this or that, like in a relationship, no, or something. You at some point you define it into, okay, it's this. We're like this, and it's good also. It's important. Um, and Yeah, it's good to abide in that vulnerability of that undefinedness. Like, oh, it's a vulnerable place, and I don't need to jump to define it um quickly. Maybe I can stay a few seconds at least there in that gap and feel that vulnerability before I define it through an action, through a thought, through saying something. And tying this all back into mindfulness practice. This practice of pausing between things, between activities, between okay, just finished my call and then I know now I will walk down and check on the baby or something. But can I give myself even maybe just a second or two of gap of undefined activity of not to rush from I was on a call and now I'm going down to check on the baby-ness, but like a little bit the space in between that is a nice way to practice this in the life. Yeah. Also in conversation, leave some space. Mm. Any last words from anyone that want to be said.
Hi, Raimar.
Hello.
So, the timing of this meditation is such a coincidence for me because I went through a profound loss recently and I'm trying to learn impermanence and letting go. So, this is something I think that's very useful to me. And I have learned so much in this course in the last 1 week. I definitely wish to continue working with you and becoming better with my practice. It has done wonders to me in just a week.
Mm.
So thank you. Very grateful to you.
Thank you. Yeah, let's continue practicing together and learn together. I'm also learning a lot every time. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Let us close it there. There's a funny closing. I don't know if you're in an environment where you can make a little bit of noise, but it's a Japanese closing that I also just learned from this workshop, the Korean teacher. We go like this. Yo, 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 yo. Okay, let's do it together. Wait, I think I actually got it wrong, but anyway. Yo,
Yo, yo, yo, yo,
yo.
Yo.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you. See you next Sunday.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Raimar.
Thank you, Anna. Nice to see you.
Bye.
Bye bye.